welcome into a new edition of the Sports Stove Draft Show presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Join the flavor revolution at righteousfelon.com. Use the promo code STOVE15, STOVE15, to get 15% off your purchase each and every time. And there's no better time than now to figure out your new favorite flavor. I love the bootleg and barbecue. It's my favorite. It's got a little bit of heat to it and a wonderful barbecue flavor as well. The Soul Survivor, the Korean barbecue flavor. The teriyaki Balboa is amazing. The Fowl Capone, the turkey jerky, it's incredible. The Bourbon Franklin is a vanilla, sweeter flavor. It's great. You need to try it for yourself, though. RighteousFelon.com, promo code STOVE15 for 15% off your purchase. All right, so we're breaking down different position groups, prepping for the NFL draft coming up in the spring of 2026. We've looked at quarterbacks. We've looked at running backs. Now let's turn our attention to the offensive tackles. This is an incredibly deep position. I'm going to give for you 8 names today to keep an eye on that I think all 8 of them could be first-round draft picks. I think that you're probably looking at 6. It makes more sense just numbers-wise. But it's a loaded class, and we could go further than 8. We go the first just 2 rounds. You could be looking at 12 offensive tackles going in the first 2 rounds. So it's a loaded group of guys. When we're talking about offensive linemen, when I'm talking about offensive linemen, there's not the stats that you can go to show. You can say, oh, look at the pancakes and look at this and look at that. You can't. You can show video. I'm not tech savvy enough to throw up video and show you all that kind of stuff too. So I'm just going to give you my opinion. Take it or leave it. Drop some comments. Let me know what you think about these guys as well. Let's get things rolling. Offensive tackle number 1 for me is Spencer Fano from Utah. Coming into the season, preseason rankings, he was up there top 3 for me anyhow. He's still up there. Number 1. Utah, they've got bookends, by the way. We'll look at the other tackle in just a minute. But offensive line is great. Spencer Fano has been playing as good as anybody in the nation right now. There's consistency in him, and that's why he's at number 1 versus our number 2 guy, which is Kadyn Proctor in Alabama. Kadyn Proctor at Alabama is a beast, and he has done so many good things. But there hasn't been necessarily the same consistency in Proctor is what we've seen in Fano so far this season. So I love both of these guys. I don't think you can go wrong with either of these guys. Proctor to me is a bully, and in a good way, a football bully. And with that being said, it would not surprise me at all. I think he's going to get a lot of publicity leading up to the draft. Kadyn Proctor will. I would be very, very, very unsurprised if he doesn't go as the first tackle off the board, because he's going to carry with him some publicity that maybe Spencer Fano will not. That being said, going between Spencer Fano from Utah, Kadyn Proctor from Alabama, and Francis Mauigoa from Miami, I think any of these 3 guys taken in the first 5 picks is a very wise draft pick for a team. You're talking about taking care of your offensive line. Francis Mauigoa is playing really good football down in Miami and continues, again, another guy that was already up on the board in preseason and continues to hold strong up there at the top. Those are my top 3, and to me, it's 1A, 1B, 1C with those 3 offensive tackles. I don't think you can go wrong with any of the 3. Now, number 4 kind of starts tier 2 of the offensive line. Now we're looking a little bit more maybe in between picks 12 and 18, somewhere in that range for these guys. Gennings Dunker from Iowa. There's something about Iowa offensive linemen and Iowa tight ends, guys that are going to block from Iowa typically seem to be pretty good. And Gennings Dunker has been very good coming into the season. A lot of people, me included, had him more down in the 10 range of offensive tackle rankings going into the season. For me now, he's a top 4 guy. I really like him. He's solidly number 4 for me out of Iowa, Gennings Dunker. Number 5, Caleb Lomu out of Utah. He's the other side of Spencer Fano. And again, these guys on both ends of the line have just been doing an incredible job this season. They've both grown their draft stock. Lomu, I think, has risen more than Fano only because Fano was already up there. And Lomu was already being discussed, but he wasn't necessarily top 5 offensive tackle being discussed. Now he is. Some people have him over Fano. I don't see that, but I don't think there's a massive gap between them either. And I think that what they've been able to do here for Utah this season has helped with the success that they've had. Number 6 for me is Isaiah World out of Oregon. Coming into the season, I was really high on Isaiah World. I thought he was going to be the one that was going to just rise up draft boards and maybe potentially be a top 2 offensive tackle. The tackles have been so good this year. I don't know that he's going to do that. But again, you're sitting here looking at him as a top 6 tackle. That's a pretty solid place to be. I think, to me, if we're looking at first-round picks, I think these 6 are the ones to pay the most attention to. And Isaiah World, he's been able to play very well at Oregon. Oregon has had some guys coming into the season that we thought were going to be spectacular, and they just haven't necessarily lived up to the billing. Now, there's other guys who have stepped up at Oregon, and, yeah, they've done the job. Isaiah World is a guy, he's kind of gotten overshadowed a little bit, but if you spend a little bit of time just paying attention to him, you'll see everything that is there. He's going to step right into the NFL, start as a rookie, and he's going to make a team very, very happy. I think he's down there in the 15 to 20 range in the draft, depending on how, the other positions line up and stuff like that. Also, I've got 2 more guys I want to discuss on the offensive tackle big board. Caleb Tiernan from Northwestern. Northwestern is a school, they've had some up moments this year, of course, but you don't think of great offensive linemen necessarily from Northwestern. Caleb Tiernan at tackle has played incredible football this year. And I think that we're going to continue to see him, especially when we get into the combine and the workouts and things like that. You're going to continue to see his name kind of rise a little bit in this draft. There will be a lot of people on different spectrums with him, I think. I think you're going to see people that have him similar to where I have him. You're going to have people see him maybe 4 or 5 slots lower than I have him. And again, I think you can go 12 deep at tackle and find some really, really good tackles this year. But Caleb Tiernan, Northwestern, I've got him at number 7. And at number 8 is Kadyn Green at Missouri. And listen, Mizzou is lucky to have him, and whoever drafts him is going to be lucky to have him too. This kid, again, a beast at tackle. You don't question his toughness or his strength. Good balance, everything that he shows. Very, very good at Mizzou this year for Kadyn Green. Good last year, as well as career's been good. So continue to watch these guys, Tiernan and Green especially. I'm interested to see how the offseason treats them. Most people will have them in the top 10 to 12 offensive tackles, but I'm interested to see if these guys could be high risers. Maybe they could jump some guys in the offseason workouts and things of that nature. It's just a really interesting group of tackles coming into this season, and to have it be so deep, it's going to be interesting to see what NFL teams do. Will they say, well, since it's so deep, we can wait a little longer? Or is it going to be a situation where they go all in on it and try to snag them early? In talking about running backs, I brought up the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think that if you look at the offensive line, it's been an area they've been trying to take care of for several years. They've tried different free agents and different things from there. It makes sense for them to go after an offensive lineman early and often. But give me a team that doesn't need offensive line help. They all have a spot they need help. When we're talking about premier tackles, we've seen people are not afraid to draft tackles in the first round and high in the first round either. So I'm interested to see kind of where, as the draft board shakes out, how high are we going to get some of these guys going, because we're going to have some quarterbacks. Again, if we look at the bottom of the rankings, the Jets, the Saints, the Titans, the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Giants, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Raiders, and the Texans all have 0, 1, or 2 wins. And so you look at these teams right now, the Texans, desperate need of offensive line help. And so if they're sitting there in the top 10, if they don't take an offensive tackle, someone needs to be fired. The defense has been great. The offense has struggled. Why? Because the offensive line stinks in Houston. So we see them going after one of these tackles for sure. Miami has all kinds of needs. They're probably quarterback market, so may not go tackle in the first round. The Jets are probably going quarterback. Saints, though, again, I don't like their quarterback. and Tyler Shuck, who we haven't even seen play yet. But I don't like them, but they need offensive line help too. They're the Titans. They got a brand new quarterback, number 1 overall. They've got to do things to protect him, so they could be at an offensive tackle. We could see 2 in the first 2 picks go off the board. I doubt we'll see that just because of the other players that are in the draft. But in the top 10, I would not be shocked at all if we see 3 offensive tackles go in the 2026 draft. Now, that's where we currently sit. Obviously, as the season progresses and the draft order becomes clear, we might have we need the right to reserve the right to change that number. But where we sit right now, I think 3 offensive tackles in the top 10 going in the 2026 draft, 6 in the first round with up to 8. And then I think we're looking at 12 in the first 2 rounds. So a lot of offensive tackles, a lot of great talent that we're going to see in the 2026 draft. All right, everybody, follow us on social media at Sports Stove. That's on Twitter and on Instagram. And we're going to have, we have all kinds of opinions flying out there, sports-related opinions flying out there. So make sure you tune in, subscribe to those, follow those. Subscribe to the Sports Stove YouTube channel. That would be a great help to us. We have several, but we need several more so we can start monetizing this bad boy. So let's get that built up. We appreciate your help in that. If you prefer the audio version, it's on the Sports Stove Football Show podcast. You can find all the episodes of the Sports Stove Draft Show right there. And we've got quarterbacks and running backs out, now offensive tackles. We still got the interior offensive line to go. We got wide receivers, tight ends, D-line, linebackers, cornerbacks, and safeties still to go. And lots of information to come down the road as we head towards the 2026 NFL Draft. Make sure you go visit righteousfelon.com to join the flavor revolution. Use the promo code STOVE15. Make sure you check out the Thursday show. It's the Sports Stove Football Show. Dad will join me. We give our picks for the NFL and college football, plus all the latest football news. And then just keep your eyes out here on the Sports Stove YouTube channel for the newest editions of the Sports Stove Draft Show, all the way up to the 2006 NFL Draft. We sure appreciate you tuning in today. Next time, we'll be back with another position group prepping for the upcoming NFL Draft.